Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Devs Talk. Learners, we have started a Python developer training course. And this video is just a recording of one of the session of this particular course. If you also want to be trained as a Python developer, just let me know in the comment. I will add you to the group. Okay, so without any delay, let's get started with the session. Yeah, so here we have an identifier s. To that identifier we are assigning a string. Okay, so let's say I'm assigning my name is Fuzel. Okay, so this string is a static string. Okay, I mean it's something which has been written and it's not gonna be changed. It will change when we assign a different value ourselves, right? So suppose when you are working in a project, then you have to write some lines or show some message to output which will be dynamic, which will be based on some value which will change. Let's say we have a variable s1. Okay, and now what I need to print is I need to print the name of the user who is logging in, suppose. So what I will do, I will make a string my name is, and then the name will be a variable, right? So what basically we do is we use this middle brackets, okay, parenthesis. So in this what this middle bracket do is it basically makes a blank space in that particular string to get an input, and to provide the input in that particular braces, we use a function named as format function. Okay, see, so in this format function what we do is we assign values. So suppose we have this one blank only, so we have to provide one value for this. So I will add the value as input, whatever input a user gives. So suppose I am giving an input, let's say Nazir. Okay, now since we got something here which we should take care of. Here when I write input, it is showing in blue. It means this input is a keyword which is already defined in Python, so we should not use input as a variable, and that's why I made a variable named as inp, not input. And then same thing we have to change here also, we have to make inp. So basically this input which a user gives, I am passing that same variable here. Whatever value is assigned to input, it will come here and it will be passed in this string, and this string will be shown in the output. Let me print s1. Okay, see what it printed, my name is Nazir. I haven't passed Nazir here in this string, but it took the input which I provided in the format function. Okay, so you got the idea how format function works, right? So to basically to make to use a string or a message as a dynamic to show a dynamic value, or to write a dynamic value in a file, or to show a dynamic value, or you can say a dynamic string or message on the output, which will be basically based on some particular variable. Okay, so in that case you can use this format function. So always when you use a format function, you use this braces to provide the input which you pass in the format function. Okay, this is so simple, the simplest way to use format function. Now coming to the more dynamic values. So suppose I write my name is and then the name of the person, and I am a, and the profession of that person. Okay, so here we have two braces. It means there will be two dynamic values to be provided in this string, which will be rendered out, which will be printed in the output, right. But in this format function, if you see, we are only passing one function, one value. Okay, we should pass exact number of value in the format function, what exactly the number of blanks, or you can say the braces, is there in the string. So since we have two braces in this string, we have to pass two values, so that it could get rendered. If I just pass one, it will show an error. Let me show you. See, it says replacement index 1 out of range for positional argument tuple. It basically means, so what a format function do, suppose I passed input and then I am passing a variable called profession. Okay, profession, let's say I am passing engineer. Okay, now as at the second index, so basically whatever this is a tuple. Okay, whatever being passed in this format function is just a set of values which is being passed as a tuple, and this position of each of the values are index. So index starts with 0 actually. So this index, the first value which we are passing in format function is at index 0, and since we also need to pass another value which should be passed at index 1, that's why it is showing index 1 is not there. Okay, so if I pass now profession, it will not show an error and this value will be added here. So it passes, this format function passes the values as per the sequence, as per the index. So the first the value at the first index, at 0th index, sorry, the value which is being passed at first position, or you can say 0th index, will be rendered out at the first blank, and in the same way the second value will be rendered out at the second position, second blank. Okay, let me show you the output. See how it rendered it out. My name is Nazir and I am an engineer. Okay, so it passes these values according to the sequence of these blanks, okay, or the braces, you can say. So the first value will come here, and then the second value of profession will come here. Okay, so in this way you can pass any number of blanks or braces to show dynamic values, right. So in same way I can say, and I live in the place where that person lives. Okay, so now we will having three braces, so three values need to be passed. So we will say place equal Varanasi. Okay, and then now I am passing the variable place here, so it will be rendered out accordingly as per the sequence. See what we got. My name is Nazir and I am an engineer and I live in Varanasi. So you got the idea how to use format function and where to use format function, right? Any doubt in format function?
No.
Okay.
No,
and,
sir. No, sir.
And not just the string, we even we can pass integer values, right? Let's say I am I'm passing an age also. Let's say I'm passing age as 30. Okay, I live in Varanasi, and then I'm saying I am this much years old, and now I pass age. Okay, now I print this. See, it shows this, right? I'm 30 years old. So this is how we use format function to make the string dynamic, to show or to output the string as with the dynamic values. Okay, so since we are just adding here values, so in projects what we do is we take the inputs. So I will make you understand how we usually take input in Python and how we pass it in these functions and all, and wherever we gonna use that value, right, input. Fine then. So this is all about the format function. Now there is also a function to check like whatever is string. So we have the set of characters in a string, right? Let's say we have a string s3 equals hello world. Okay, so all these set of characters are also an iterator. Okay, and this complete string is iterable. So iterable is something which can be iterated upon. It means at a value or some or any data type, you can say any data type whose elements, whose set of characters can be fetched one by one. Iteration का मतलब क्या होता है? Just going one by one and getting one value at a time. So basically, suppose iteration का मतलब है I just go to the index 0 which is having a value of h. I take the value h, then I go to index 1, I take the value e, and same way I get all these values, right? So iteration simply means going to each element one by one and fetching it. Okay, now so whatever data type is having this functionality which can be iterated upon are called iterables. Okay, iterables are those data types which can be iterated upon and whose elements are nothing but iterators which can be fetched one by one. So in a string, let's say if we want to print each of characters one by one of this string s3, what we'll do, we'll iterate one by one through each of the character. So we'll use for loop. I will let you know how exactly for loop works in the coming lectures. So let's just have an insight about this. I will say for each element, each in, just for your understanding, each character, हर एक character के लिए each char in किसमें, in string s3, for each character in string s3. So each character is nothing but each of the characters one by one getting it from s3. I am printing that character. So each character will be fetched one by one and will be printed. Let me show. See what we got here. Hello one by one. First it showed me it printed h, then e, then ll, then o, and same way space also comes. So space is nothing but a character of a string, right? Here space is also a character in a string, and then we got this world, right? So to get each element one by one, what we do, we iterate through each of the values, and the data type which supports this functionality is called iterable. Okay, now each iterable has a length of characters or elements. So to check what exactly the number of characters in a string, we use a function called length. Okay, so if I want to print the length, and how we call that function, len is the calling name of that function. To get a length of a string or any data type, suppose length, suppose list, we can use this function length to get the number of characters or to get the number of elements. So I will say len and then get me the length of the number of characters in s3. Okay, so it will print me the length, the number of character. See what it printed, 11. If you count, it is having 11 characters, right? 5 for hello, 5 for world, and 1 is a space. So total as 11 characters. You can see here in the output it has given an output of 11. So far we have seen this format function and s3, what exactly an iterable is and how we iterate, and then how we can print this the number of character in a particular string, how we can get the number of character in a particular string. So we can use a function called length. Okay, now after getting this, we just moving to lower and upper. So basically to check, like suppose you have some string, right? So if you want, so someone has given an input as a string, but he has given it with the mix up of lower and upper case, but you want to process it as a complete lower case or complete upper case. How you will change the cases of the string? So to change the case of a string, let's say we have hello world. Okay, So for hello world, I am just printing this same string with the change of cases. So what I will do, I will call that same string identifier s3, then I will say dot and then the function. Let's say I want to make it upper, all upper, I will say upper. Okay, so it will convert all these strings, all the set of character as uppercase. See, when I printed it, it is now all in uppercase. Same way, if I print all in lower, so we can use lower function. See, we got both the upper case hello world and the lower case hello world. So these are two functions which we can use to change the cases of the complete string. Okay, now in many of the problem solving, what we get is we have to check the input being provided by the user, whether it is all numeric, all digits, or all alphabetical characters. Okay, to check that, so it basically prints in true in boolean, true or false. It will check whether it is all digit. If it is all digit, it will give us true. If it is not all digit, it will give us false. So and to check whether it is all alphabet, we will call is alpha function, which will give us true as both alphabets also and numerical characters also. But here if you see it dot is digit, digit means if it is having all digits. In same way we can check if it is having all numeric, all alphabetical value, is alpha. Okay, so these three functions are important. See, since it is having both alpha and numeric, for alpha numeric it gives true, but it is not having all numeric, so it's like or, not and. Al num means alphabet or numeric, alphabet or numeric, which basically means either if both are true, it will give you true. If any of them are true, it will give you true, right? Let me show you. Maybe many of you might not be getting this. Okay, so for OR function, what we get is, if for OR condition we get true in three cases, right? Okay, now if you see, so OR basically means is now I am just writing here alpha and then next as numeric. Now just for your understanding I am writing this. So for alphabetical, if we get true and for numeric we get false, it means if it is all alphabet but not numeric, then in that case as well it will give us true. That's basically use of OR condition. Okay, so alnum uses OR condition to check, not and if both are true, if it is containing both alphabet and numeric, in that case as well we will get true. Now if it is not containing alphabet, which means for alphabet we get false, but it contains numeric, for numeric we get true, in that case as well we get true. Is it okay for all you all, or is it clear, or you have doubt in this?
Actually, sir, I want to ask one thing. In only case when we use the special character, in only case is all num gives a false. Otherwise, it always give a true.
Sorry, would you please repeat?
एक्चुअली सर अगर हम सिर्फ इसमें जो वो होगा, ये हमारा स्ट्रिंग होगा, उसके अंदर अगर हम स्पेशल कैरेक्टर यूज करेंगे जब ये फॉल्स मतलब वो करेगा रिटर्न, क्योंकि ऐसे तो हम हर दफा कोई भी मतलब के डिजिट या अल्फा तो होगा ही होगा इसमें, मतलब कि
let me show you. Let's say I add two special characters and now if I print, so for is alpha numeric also we got false. So any of this function returns false if any string contains a special character. It never checks for special characters. It will always give false for special characters. It will only check for numerical or alphabetical value. For special character, so even in this way you can check like this. I mean, if you want to check if that string contains a special character or not, So you can use any of these function. It will always give you false if the string contains the special character. In that way you can check.
Fazal bhai, can we check for S1 too? For this function?
Which one?
For string 1, which we have printed earlier.
Okay, for string 1 you are saying. Okay.
Yeah.
See, we got all false. Why? Anyone having any idea? Let me show you the string being printed as S1. This is the string, complete string, which is S1. Okay.
So space.
Beauty space.
Here we have this last dot na, what I say, full stop. Okay, so it also comes in special char. Okay, now let me show you. If I remove this, so now it don't have this full stop. Let me print. Okay, it got printed. Okay, now why it is printing as false? We have removed
Bracket.
this. We have removed full stop, right? Now it is all alphabets and numerical values. If you see this string, we have spaces, right?
Fazal, so you are running S3. So what is relation with S1? We are talking about the output of
we are running both S1, S3 in the first line, and in the second line we are running S1 as well. So at the that's why we are getting 2 lines of true and false, right? So for last one, this last line is giving us false for this S1. Okay, and why we are
there are only
yes. So why we are getting false? So this one is alphanumeric. For alphanumeric, if you check, it is having numerical value 30 and the alphabets as well, but it is printing false. For each digit, it is true, since it don't have any since it don't have all numerical values, it is giving us false. For alpha also we are getting false. These conditions are correct, but why we are getting false for alphanumeric? Any idea, anyone?
So there is a special character.
We have spaces, right? If we remove space, okay, if we do a join, so if we do a join, what we will get? We'll show you this join and split function as well. Now if I make S1 as, I am changing the value of S1, right? I am making it my name, not spaces, is Nazir. Now if I am printing this,
So you have given the full stop.
oh yes, sorry, that's my bad. See, now we got true, right, for alphanumeric. So you should make sure ensure that you don't have spaces or any set of characters if you are checking for alphanumeric. Okay, so all these basically checks for the string which don't have spaces. Okay, you got it? Any doubt so far?
So in alphanumeric, and mm, and alpha. If any one of the condition is true, then the output will be true, right?
No, for only this one, alphanumeric. If any condition, whether it is having both alpha or numeric, if
Yeah,
it is
that's
having,
what.
yeah, and even if it is having only alpha or only numeric, for all these three cases, it will give us true. Okay. And but in these both functions, we have direct checks like AND conditions, right? So we have whether it is digit or not. If it is not digit, it will give us false. If it is completely digit, it will give us true. If it is completely alpha, this one give us true. If it is not completely alpha, it will give us false. Simple. Okay. So all these function, format function, lower and upper, and alnum or is digit or is alpha are very important in problem solving. Okay.
Any suggestion? How do we remember this thing?
Simple. So digit, if there is only digit, simply means it will check only digit. If there is alpha only, it will check if there is only alpha. So for alpha it will give true, for digit it will give true. Just remember this one. And for alnum, it will check both. It will give true for al, for num, and for alnum, all three, like this. You can just remember with the name as well. The name itself defines the function. Okay. So you same way you have many functions like these. You can just practice on that. You can just go through that material which I have given. It has all those functions. Okay. Now let me show you the use of split function. As I said, S1 is having spaces. Now what I want is, I want something let's say S5, something which will be having all those characters but not spaces in between. So what I will what I want is, I want to get all those characters, set of characters which are bifurcated with space. So this my is bifurcated with space from name, and this name is bifurcated from is with space. So wherever we have a space, so I want to split all those set of character which are having space in between. Okay, let me show you, you will get it better. So I have a string S1, I am saying split this string S1, split this string S1. Where to split? I am passing the particular thing at which it will split. So I am passing space here, which basically means wherever there is a space, just split those characters and give me the output. Let's see what output we get. Okay, I am printing this S5. See what we got. We got each set of characters. Which are having spaces. I mean, it splits the complete string at space. कहते हैं ना कि वो बीच से कागज को फाड़ दो, इसका मतलब क्या है, वो बीच का जो लाइन है उसके दोनों तरफ जो वैल्यूज है उसको अलग अलग कर देना. इन सेम वे स्पेस जो है, इस स्पेस के दोनों तरफ जो वैल्यूज हैं उसको अलग अलग करके, स्प्लिट का मतलब यही है, सिंपल है ना. जहाँ जहाँ स्पेस है उसके दोनों तरफ जो वैल्यूज हैं उनको अलग अलग एज एन एलिमेंट लेकर उसका पूरा एक लिस्ट प्रोवाइड करता है ये, है ना. सो वी एज एन आउटपुट ऑफ स्ट्रिंग फंक्शन व्हाट वी गॉट अ लिस्ट ऑफ ऑल दोज सेट ऑफ कैरेक्टर्स which are bifurcated by the character, or you can say the thing which you passed in split function. So we passed a space in a split function. So at all these spaces it has splitted all the values or set of characters and provided it as an element of list. Okay, so you can now fetch any of these element. I will let you know how we fetch the elements from a list in the later on session. So this is the use of a split function. To get each of the elements one by one of a string, you can just use this. Okay. So this is what split functions do. Now since we have splitted, okay, we have list of all the characters splitted, which are you can say separated by comma here. Okay. Now you want to join all those. What you will do? You will say make S6, and what you want to do? Join dot join, and which elements you want to join, which are in the output of S4, right? Sorry, S5. Okay. We haven't passed anything. What is not printing? Oh, we are not printing now. Okay. So now if we print S6, see, what I said is join whatever element you have in this S5. So we have all these elements in S5. Join with spaces in between them. So it has joined all these strings having spaces in between them, all the elements. But if you want to remove the space, you want all of them joined without space, in the join function, before join function, you basically pass the character or value with which you want to join all those elements. Since I have passed the space, so it has joined all those elements with a space. If I don't pass a space, it will join all together. See, this complete element of list got joined with each other without any space, all together. Okay, you are getting the idea of join, right? So you want to, so it basically works. So whatever element you have in a list, in list all elements, you can join all those elements together with a particular value, or if you want, if you don't want anything to be in between all those elements, you can just pass empty and just empty a string, and then use this join function and pass that iterable, you can say the list, and it will give you the complete set of characters without any spaces. Any doubt with join function? Anyone?
Awesome.
Okay, you got it, right? So this is how, I mean, suppose in some problem solving you have given this string, okay, you have given this string. Now the interviewer told you that I don't want spaces in between, and I want a set of character, I want a string without these spaces, these all set of characters all together. What you will do? You will first split and make this list, and then you will join without space. You will get this string. Got it? Clear है?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
हम डायरेक्टली ज्वाइन नहीं लगा सकते इसमें?
नहीं, सेपरेबल्स होने चाहिए. मतलब जो भी आइटरेबल्स एलिमेंट्स हैं जिनको ज्वाइन करना है, तो वो हमें बेहतर ये है कि हमें स्प्लिट से ही ये मिलता है, लिस्ट में मिलता है वो. मतलब हमें वो एक एलिमेंट वाइज मिलेगा, तभी हम एलिमेंट्स को आपस में ज्वाइन कर पाएंगे ना. अगर हम सिर्फ ये पास करेंगे स्ट्रिंग, लेट मी शो यू. इफ आई जस्ट पास s1 itself in the join, what it will show?
Sir, print S1.
Oh, sorry, yes. No, we are printing this S6 now. Basically the output we are getting in S6. So if you compare it will just give the same string, because that is a simple string only. So it is not joining anything with that, so it is just keeping it as one string. Like suppose you have all this set as one element, it is treating this complete set of a string which you passed as an input as one element, like we have this my, and then it is not having all any other characters, that is why we are not seeing anything in the join. It is just printing as it is the same string. Got it?
Okay, fine.
Okay. Now we have two more functions to see, but we have many functions in a string. Okay, I would suggest you to practice on each of those functions, because all those functions might be in use in problem solving. It helps a lot in problem solving. Okay, so you should practice on those functions. These are very important functions. Many problem solving questions involves string manipulation, which basically means manipulating strings using all these functions, processing it using all these functions, and then using it somewhere for another algorithms or logics, right, business logic. So I would suggest you practice all those string functions. These are very important functions, that's why I am discussing here, but we have many functions there which you also need to learn, so that you could get better idea of this string manipulation, right. And you have all those functions in the in that study material. Now since we have seen all these functions, split and join and all, so suppose you have a string given by, so suppose there is a question by interviewer says, let's say we have x as a string like this. Wait, what happened, man? You got the idea how this find function works. We have used this find function to basically check what exactly the first occurrence of this particular character which we are finding. We are finding m in this character, in this string. Okay, so if you see the first occurrence of m, if you check, where is it? Here, right? This is the first occurrence of m, but we have m here as well, and here also. So what this find function gives is, this find function gives the index. What it gives? It gives index of first occurrence of this character or set of character which you are finding. So m is find first here. The first occurrence of m is here. If you try to count the index, as I told, for each of the data types like a string, list and all, the index starts with 0. So the first element here we have w, which is at index 0. In same way, if you go, it will come up 24 here for m. So m is at index 24. So this find function returns us the index of the first occurrence of this variable which we are finding. Okay. So whenever you have any problem solving question where the requirement is to find the position of first occurrence of a particular element or something like that, you can just use find function. Okay. So this is the use of find function, to get the index of first occurrence of the character or set of character which you want to find. Okay. Any doubt in find function?
No, sir.
Okay. Then we have replace. Okay. Replace, what it basically do is we can replace, okay, in any set of character in a string. Suppose we have S6 as my name is Adil. Now in S6 you want to replace, what you want to replace? Adil, the name. You can say you can first argument will be the name which you want to, or the set of character which you want to replace. I want to replace Adil. With which string I want to add let's say Anas. So in place of Adil I want to add Anas in this string. So this replace function will replace a set of character with the another set of character. The set of character which you want to replace will be added, will be passed as first argument, and the set of character which you want to be there as the replaced character will be at the second argument. Let me print now. See, now H6 is my name is Anas. So Adil get replaced with Anas. Okay. Is it clear? This find and replace.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The set of character if you have and you want to remove from left or right, you have something. Suppose at the left we have this bracket, right, this one, and I want to remove. If I pass it in a strip means stripping out, removing. So it will remove all the occurrence of this. Since we have only one occurrence of this bracket, it removed from the left. Now if I pass the right one, okay, it will remove from the right. See, so this is how a strip function works, and this strip function is also important. It is being used in most of the problem solving questions. Okay, just to remove unwanted characters from a string to make the proper or optimum use of a string in the problem solving. So a strip function is nothing but to remove something from left or right. Okay, only left or right, make sure. So suppose you have two occurrence of this, a bit, and then here as well you have this. Okay, three occurrence. See, it removed all the occurrence of that particular character which I have passed inside a strip function. But if I pass here in between, see, it hasn't removed this, because it only removes, it strips from left and right only, left and right of this string. Okay, got it? Clear hai?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Fine then.